another cruisinwithted.com video production, an insider's look at Windstar Cruises, featuring Windstar's own Melissa Nesseson.
Welcome aboard. And today we have an opportunity to speak to the Regional Sales Manager for Director of Windstar Cruises, Melissa Nesseson. Did I say that right, your last name?
Yes, sir.
All right, take it away.
Great. Hi, everybody. I'm Melissa Nesseson, and I am with Windstar Cruises. And I have been on the Windstar sales team a little over 8 wonderful years. I'm not just a Windstar employee, I'm definitely a Windstar fanatic, and that's because I'm a Windstar Yacht Club member. I've had the pleasure of sailing on 4 Windstar cruises. It's always exceeded all my expectations and really, truly is 180 degrees from ordinary. Those of you that have sailed with us know what I mean, and it's easy to get hooked on Windstar, that's for sure. So today I'm going to do a quick presentation, a little overview of today's Windstar and what's new, and then also, as Ted mentioned, kind of an insider's peek on some of our unique themed cruises that you may not be aware of. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to ask everyone to continue staying on mute for now. If you have questions or comments, you can put those in the chat box. And we'll save some time at the end of the presentation. If time permits, we'll do some Q&A. Either we could go off of the chat box, or at that time you can unmute yourself and ask your question if you prefer to ask it in person rather than via chat. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera off because it does make my presentation flow a little faster, sometimes with the web, the internet being a little slow where I am. But let's take it away. So as you can see on your screen, Windstar has some beautiful boutique cruise ships. We currently operate 6 beautiful large yachts. We have 2 new ships on the way, and as you can see, our ships look pretty unique. They're a small size. They hold less than 350 guests on board. This image is a little stretched to fit my screen, but you can see 2 beautiful styles of ships there: sailing yachts and all-suite motor yachts. So when you think of the name Windstar Cruises, think wind and stars. So you probably already can guess which ships are called wind class ships, right? Of course, those are the beautiful sailing ships like the one you see in the background. And the Star Plus class are beautiful all-suite motor yachts. Classic motor yachts hold 312 guests, and that's like the ship you see there in front of you. So beautiful small ships. 3 classic wind class, 3 all-suite motor yachts we call Star Plus, and 2 all-suite Star Plus class ships coming soon. And on Windstar, you truly are leaving the crowds behind. You're going off the beaten path into places that are not always accessible by larger ships. Even some small ships have a hard time going, quote, off the beaten path into some of these beautiful coastal villages and hidden gems and beautiful islands and places that might have shallow waterways surrounding them, so they may be hard to get to by other ships. We have a rather shallow draft, so we really like to challenge ourselves into going to find some of these unique places that you might not see a lot of other cruise ships. We can go into more narrow channels, and we can go really beyond the reach of other cruise ships, even into some rivers. We have some of our cruises that combine the best of the coastal villages and then also going into certain rivers like Bordeaux or Seville, Spain, places you wouldn't usually see a cruise ship, maybe a river ship. And the onboard experience is really really designed to feel like you're on a private yacht. So yes, these are cruise ships with the amenities of cruise ships: spa, fitness center, dining room, entertainment. But the vibe, the ambiance is very relaxed, very fun and friendly, and very yacht style casual. You're also going to taste the essence of the cultures of the places you're visiting, because we are incorporating local delicacies, local cuisines. Our chefs go ashore to source all those goodies, and you'll certainly be impressed with our culinary. We do have everything, handmade, made a la minute, made to order. And our shore excursions are also hand curated. Those are optional. The prices vary, but they're unlike any other excursions. They're all designed by Windstar. And I believe we're the only cruise line in the world, large and or small, that gives you an individual personal choice to travel all inclusive or not. If you're traveling as a couple or traveling with a friend in your suite or stateroom, you do not feel forced to do the same thing they want to do. So if you want to go cruise only and you could care less about the alcohol and the Wi-Fi and you just want to take care of your tips on board, absolutely. The other person wants to go all inclusive and includes their alcohol, their Wi-Fi, their tips, all of the above, absolutely. You don't have to do the same thing. So a personal choice. And we offer some exciting themed voyages and cruise tours that are really highlighting, relaxation, rejuvenation, immersive and fun experiences, setting us apart in the cruise industry. And that's what I'm going to be telling you a little bit about today. We have 40 years of experience in the cruise industry, but over 150 years experience as part of Xanterra's travel collection. That is our parent company. And you might recognize, if you're a traveler, you might recognize some of these travel brands and destinations and national parks. We do have the honor of looking after and keeping doing the concessions and the monuments and the national parks are all kind of overseen by Xanterra. We like to say we're part of a collection of rails, trails, and sails, right? So rails, Grand Canyon Railway, trails, we have walking tours, bike tours, and of course sails, Windstar Cruises. This is where we kind of, go to. Well, when I say where we go, it's probably easier to tell you where we leave from or we go back to. So all of these cities, these wonderful cities around the world that you see on your screen, this is where you're going to fly to and meet the ship. Okay, you'll fly there, or some of these are round trips, some cruises are one way, which is great because you can combine these back to back with without potentially repeating any ports. So you can do 7 to 56 day cruises, from various places around the world. Our cruises are seasonal. Where we are year round would be Tahiti, because they don't have an off season. They don't have a winter. They don't have hurricane season. They don't get monsoons. And the southern and western Mediterranean doesn't actually even have an off season. We have what's called the local season, which is when most of the tourists are not there in the fall, winter, and early spring. But the weather in the southern and western Med is very temperate, very mild, and beautiful. So we're there year round. So when we consider the fall, winter, and spring, that's kind of the local season when the locals come and do their local festivals, winter festivals, when the museums are not crowded and the airfares are better and stuff like that. So keeping in mind that everywhere else on your screen would be seasonal. We're celebrating 36 years in Tahiti. We have a beautiful all-suite yacht, Star Breeze. She holds 312 guests, and you can choose from 7 to 21-day itineraries, or longer if you wanted to go back to back. And by 2027, by popular demand, Windstar will have 2 ships in Tahiti. The Star Plus class yacht and a beautiful sailing yacht will make its return back to Tahiti. Our 7-day Dreams of Tahiti is almost every Thursday, 7 nights, 6 different Tahitian islands, and an overnight in Bora Bora and an overnight in Raiatea. Absolutely gorgeous. And then if you have a little extra time to spare, you can do the 10 or 11 day, which would also go over to the Tuamotu Islands, where you can see one of the beautiful underwater UNESCO sites in Tahiti, which is a beautiful biosphere reserve, which has some of the most beautiful marine life and some of the best diving on Earth. And if you want to get really remote, we can head over to the Marquesas on our 14 or 15-day cruises. They're very remote, and it's actually the youngest UNESCO site in the world, because they're just so isolated from their neighbors, about 1,400 nautical miles. So you'll really see the old world Polynesian lifestyle. And they're so excited to greet the Windstar ship. We just started sailing to the Marquesas in October. Very exciting. And then for 2026, we'll head there. Plus, we'll do the Cook Islands on the heading the opposite direction from the Society Islands, the Cook Islands. We'll head to Tonga and Fiji in 2026. And all of our cruises really highlight cultures and music music, and we have a destination discovery event on select sailings. In Bora Bora, we have a beautiful themed luau party with the local dancers and great music, and it's just a lot of fun. And if you're romantic and you want to renew your vows, or maybe you do your vow exchange for the first time with your loved one, absolutely, we do that ashore and also on board. And there's a small cost for the romance package, and the captains love to participate in those vow exchange ceremonies. Did any of you watch The Golden Bachelorette this season? Well, if you didn't, go ahead, and if you have I think it's on Hulu, you could go back and watch the last 3 episodes where Joan found love on the Star Breeze in Tahiti. And we have some Golden Bachelorette themed packages. This is new. You may not have heard of this yet. We haven't really promoted this yet. We're just launched. So I wanted to give you this information right away because this is going to sell really well. Inspired by the Golden Bachelorette in Tahiti, we have the cruise package with air on Air Tahiti Nui and a stay in an overwater bungalow. And we have air flights from Los Angeles and Seattle, and that's going to be beautiful. Moorea is just a short ferry boat ride away from Papeete, which is where the airport is. So on the first package you see, you'll have a beautiful stay in Moorea and then head back to Papeete to take the cruise. And then for the other 2 packages, they're leaving round trip Papeete. With a beautiful bungalow package. We've got a lot of great partnerships in Tahiti after being there for 36
Melissa,
years. Yes, sir?
This is Tim. You didn't mention that I was one of the bachelors on the Golden Bachelorette.
I thought you looked familiar, Ted.
Yeah. So
right.
look for me on that show, guys.
Absolutely.
I might be hooked up by then.
So I also wanted to mention that there's a beautiful island off the coast of Papeete, about a 20-minute flight. And the island is known for the resort called the Brando. Some of you may recall the very talented actor Marlon Brando. He owned and lived on the island. His offspring and his loved ones still live there today on the island. And then the resort in his name is just very exclusive and really, really fantastic and really hard to get availability. But Windstar has this great package. So for our top suite holders, you can inquire with Cruisin' with Ted about adding on a post-cruise package, visiting the Brando for a couple awesome days and nights and staying in an overwater bungalow or villa. So Windstar's themed voyages are really growing in popularity. We don't advertise them a whole lot. They are very limited in availability, so they kind of sell out very well based on word of mouth and repeat business and referrals. But I wanted to give you a chance to hear about these and really consider taking one of these really beautiful cruises. All Windstar cruises are fantastic, but these are some that are really even more special. So we have our new Mind, Body, and Spirit collection, and this is going to be a handful of sailings that are hosted by renowned life coach and author Debbie Dixon. And the cruise will be supporting body and mind rejuvenation. There's complimentary yoga classes, breathing work. There's all kinds of daily meditations and really a focus on mental, physical, and spiritual health. Of course, you're on a Windstar yacht, so that's a boost to your spiritual health as well. But you'll really feel revitalized on that journey, and this is really going to be very, very popular. So limited availability. There's the Star Pride in February, doing the Panama Canal, the Star Legend, heading over to the Winter Riviera in February, Star Pride doing Bermuda Bliss in October, and the beautiful Wind Spirit sailing yacht doing an ocean crossing that's leaving from Lisbon to Barbados in November. So there's going to be spa treatments, delicious meals, healthy juice cleanses. There's going to be optional vegan menus as well, and there'll be one-on-one sessions, which will have an additional fee if you want to meet one-on-one with Debbie Dixon, but there'll be lots of daily offerings of meditation and lots of great things. So speaking of vegan, if any of you enjoy plant-based food, we are the official cruise line of the National Health Association, and you may not be aware that we have a 100% plant-based sailing in February of 2025, 7 nights on Dreams of Tahiti. And on all of our cruises, we do have plant-based menus available with SOS offerings, which are no salt, no oil, no sugar, and lots of taste and lots of flavor. and those are optional. But here's the 7-night cruise. As I mentioned, Society Islands, six different islands, and just fantastic. As the official cruise line of the James Beard Foundation, we do attract top chefs from the finest restaurants in North America who love to sail on Windstar. And we also have top wine experts sailing with us. So all of our food, all of our culinary, our food and wine sailings have a top chef sailing that are hosting the sailings, and also wine experts. So we don't have time to get into all of these culinary and wine themed cruises, but just so you know, they exist, and Cruising with Ted will help you find the right one for you. The Grand Prix, the Prix du Monde, we do that every year. That's a beautiful themed cruise. It's typically in the month of May. We have for 2025 a 7-day, and also actually that one, the second line is a typo. I believe that would be no, actually, it's a 7-day also. So yes, Barcelona to Rome or round trip Rome. There's 2 offerings. And I should mention that there's going to be a Formula One racing expert on board. There's special seating for the time trials, and then special seating for the race itself. Special seats, not benches, but very comfortable seats. And there's cocktail receptions, and there's going to be a gift package and all kinds of great fun things. So what's included on Windstar? Well, really all of our cruises, I should mention, offer, all-inclusive experience or cruise only. So in the cruise only, just the base fare, you've got everything you see on the screen, all your non-alcohol included, all your meals, great, 24-hour room service, specialty restaurants. There's a fun barbecue party, which is a lot of fun out on deck, weather permitting. Lots of stuff included. Use of our water sports equipment, weather permitting, depending on the port that we're at anchor in. Access to the open bridge, one of the Windstar specialties. You can come up and meet the captain, check out the radar, see what's on the charts. There's complimentary charting and navigational courses. The World Spa by Windstar has spa rooms, facilities, sauna, steam room, stuff like that. Fitness classes, no charge for that. So there's a lot included in the cruise fare. When you book with Cruising with Ted, there are select sailings that you also get some onboard credit. And we also have hosted groups, which actually are going to have a host from the Signature Travel Network, which is a very prestigious travel organization that Cruising with Ted belongs to. So when you book on some of these sailings, you'll have a welcome reception and a host escorting your group for everything that you need. But as far as the base fare, as I mentioned, all this would be included. But for an additional cost, you can make it all inclusive, which would also include your alcohol, Wi-Fi, and tips. So keep that in mind. It would be less than $100 a day per person to upgrade to an all-inclusive fare. I thought I had a slide on that, but I apologize. I think it got skipped. So let's move on and talk about a few more of our theme cruises in the few moments we still have together, because I know we want to keep this on the shorter side so we can answer questions. So one of our exciting theme cruises that I have on my bucket list, I hope I get to go, would be a mystery cruise. Round trip Athens, 8 days, beautiful all-suite yacht, April of 2025, April 19th. Wake up each morning at a new surprise destination. We'll have several new to Windstar locations. You'll meet and greet and sail with the company president, Chris Prelog, and lots of great surprises. So this has my name written all over it. If you're unique and you like things 180 degrees from ordinary, what a thrill to gather in the lounge in the morning and get that great surprise announcement of where we are. And maybe you peeked out your window and you could figure out where we are, but what a cool thing to do. And that's really cool. Oh, here's my slide. I'm sorry, it was out of order. As I mentioned, you can go all in and add alcohol, Wi-Fi, and tips for just a small nominal fee and go all inclusive. If you booked the cruise already and it's cruise only, be sure to reach out to Cruising with Ted, because you should be able to upgrade yourself to the all-inclusive fare for just a small fee. And if you do it on board, it's a higher cost. So do it with Cruising with Ted ahead of time and go all in. Most cruisers these days want the convenience of just unlimited Wi-Fi. They want all their tips and gratuities included, and they want all their cocktails, beer, and wine. But if you or your spouse want to go, a la carte, absolutely, that's up to you. As far as the ships, I mentioned we have different styles of ships, sailing yachts and all-suite yachts. So the Windsurf is our largest. Under 350 guests. She has an elevator. She has a spa, fitness center, swimming pool. Her 2 sister ships, Spirit and Star, do not have an elevator. Please keep that in mind. But they have pretty much everything else, and it's just under 150 guests. The sailing yachts are in the midst of having a refresh project. We're putting on a new new lobby, redesigning the lounges, a new pool, new whirlpool, refurbishing the spa, updating the gym with brand new equipment. We're having all kinds of new art and new things, kind of they're classic yachts, and we want to make sure they compete well with the newest ships on the market. So that's to come. We've started this in December of 2023, and it's ongoing through December of 2026. The 3 all-suite yachts, Star Legend, Star Pride, Star Breeze, they hold 312 guests, and they had their refresh project actually kind of like in the pandemic era where ships weren't really operating. So we used that time wisely to not only enhance and refresh, but we actually stretched these 3 ships. We actually cut them in half and added 50 suites right in the middle. So you'll see some brand new suites there. This is an example. There's porthole suites, picture window suites, and French balcony suites. They have a walk-in closet and a brand new bathroom. We have 2 grand owner suites, which are 3 suites that adjoin and that can sleep 8 people very comfortably with a full-size balcony. So just gonna flip through some of the pictures of the onboard experience. Make sure you bring your dancing shoes, because Compass Rose, as you see on your screen, is the place to be in the evening. Great music, great dancing, and weather permitting, our pool deck does have a great place for our pop-up disco party and barbecue party. And in the last few moments we have now together, I wanted to let you know, if you didn't hear already, we have 2 new stars on the horizon. Star Seeker and Star Explorer are coming soon. Brand new builds. This is a rendering here. They look like a very familiar, because they're going to look very similar to the Star Plus class, with the signature hot tub in the front, water sports platform like all of our ships have, Amphora, our main dining room, yacht club, which is our relaxation area for socializing, and they'll have 72 of the 112 suites will have full-size balconies, and they'll also 30 suites will have infinity windows, which lower halfway, and you can get fresh air in the room. 224 guests, and these are just some images I'll show you. We don't have time to get into all of them, and these are just renderings. The ship is still in the yacht yard, the Star Seeker. But this is what they'll kind of look like, and you can see the decor and color schemes are very tasteful, very spacious, bright and cheerful. And what a great way to visit Alaska in 2026, scenic Alaska. So 7 or 8 nights. This just opened for sale a few months ago. It's selling fast for 2026. Please be sure to reach out to Cruising with Ted so you can get your deposit on an Alaska cruise. What makes us different? Well, the size of the ships are really great. It's conducive to going off the beaten path, smaller ports where the bigger ships don't go, going into some of those fjords the bigger ships can't reach. And our onboard team is our Windstar team members are Alaska experts, expedition experts that live on board. So you'll be interacting with and getting lectures, and you'll be meeting and greeting with great Alaska experts that'll be doing our optional kayaking and Zodiac excursions. And then we'll head over to Japan after Alaska. We'll be doing this for 3 seasons, Alaska and Japan. What a beautiful way to see Japan and South Korea. Beautiful UNESCO sites, memorial parks, and lots of great culture. And if you want to extend your stay for 2 nights, we do have a visit to Nara and Osaka and Kyoto. And that would include the hotel and the Intercontinental. Admission fees to various shrines and temples and castles, and transfers, and the cruise itself, of course. So for a limited time, we do have a Pick Your Perk promotion. So if you like what you heard, you want to inquire about some of these theme cruises or some of our other sailings, because of course we have about, about 189 itineraries. Cruising with Ted's going to help you. If you are in a premium suite, you'll get to upgrade to an all-inclusive fare for no extra cost. If you're in a standard stateroom or suite, you could choose from a free hotel night or shipboard credit. So let's make memories happen. Just a reminder of where we leave from, major cities around the world seasonally, and year-round in Tahiti and year-round in the Western and Southern Med. So, Ted, do we have time for any questions? I'd be happy to answer questions. And before we do, I do want to also remind everyone again, if you book by March 31st, you can pick that perk. But also, if you're attending or watching this video and you'd like to book something with a Windstar cruise, reach out to Cruising with Ted, and you'll receive an extra $50 per person shipboard credit if you book by January 1st. So that's a 2-week special, and we want to wish you happy holidays. So Ted, how are we looking on time?
Shelley, why don't you take over, go through questions, tell us more about how we can get involved with your cruise,
Okay.
and then I'll take it over after that. And also, Melissa, could you unshare? And
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead, Shelley.
Back on here.
Hi, everyone. My name's Shelley. I'm one of the travel agent specialists here with Cruising with Ted, and I am a Windstar specialist as well. I've been on board, and I have an upcoming group that I'm going to tell you about in just a second. But before that, Melissa, I did want to ask you a question that we have in the chat. Alan is asking, what percentage of the cruise time is the sailing ship under sail without use of the engines?
Well, the captains love to do that as often as they can for a couple reasons. Number one, it looks really cool, and the guests are just waiting for that sail away moment. And number two, it does, when we go at full sail, we can get extra speed, so we can get to our destination a little bit quicker, but also cuts down on fuel consumption. But so the answer to that question is they will do it as often as they can, but it is weather permitting. The conditions have to be right. So there's no exact percentage that I'm aware of, but they do try to do that when we leave port at least a few times during the week, because it is a very special sail away celebration. So be out on deck when you are sailing away, because they do really like to do that as often as they can. There's nothing else like it. It's fantastic. It's choreographed to music, and it's just a really ceremonial, very touching ceremonial sail away when we do that. So yes, the answer to that question is as often as we can, weather permitting, conditions permitting.
It is very incredible when they unfurl the sails at night with the lights and the music, and it was a lot of fun to see. We have one other question, just in general. What is the average age of guests on board?
So if you ask a marketing person, they might have a different approach than someone who actually works and lives on board. Our crew members interact with our guests every day, and there's folks that have been loyal to the brand for the last 40 years. So there's going to be various age groups. Who we market to today, our marketing is going to be typically catered to empty nesters and early retirees. But you're going to see younger folks on board, upscale millennials from affluent households that grew up traveling, and, a typical vacation just wouldn't do. So you're going to see younger folks. We do allow children age 8 and above, but you're not going to see a lot of them. In fact, if there's 1 or 2 children on board, that would probably, be a lot. But we welcome your children, and we welcome your grandkids. If you're thinking about a multi-generational group, yes, absolutely. As long as the kids are okay hanging out with the parents or the grandparents, because there's not going to be, activities for the kids, scheduled activities. So keep that in mind. But so who you usually see on board would be about 40s through about mid 70s or so, but you're going to see older folks, younger folks, and everything in between.
Thank you. That was the last question. Actually, one last question. On board dress requirements, please.
Sure. So it is yacht style casual, country club casual, yacht club casual. During the day, just wear what you're comfortable with pretty much. It is a tasteful, casually elegant environment. In the evening, it's a little more elegant. So you probably wouldn't see jeans too often in the dining room. So gentlemen, bring like the collared shirt, polo type shirt would be appropriate. You don't have to bring a sports jacket or a tie or a tuxedo, but if you're celebrating something special and you want to dress to impress, you won't feel out of place. We just don't require you to dress formal. So casually elegant with the emphasis on elegant, especially in the evening. You wouldn't see, shorts or t-shirts or ball caps and stuff like that. But during the day, be comfortable and dress as you would on a private yacht.
Okay, thank you. That was the last question now. And I just wanted to tell everyone about a group cruise that I'm hosting. It's next summer in June, and it is on the Windsurf. It's the Adriatic Archipelagos and Greek goddesses. That is 9 days starting on June 23rd. And the extra amenity that you'll have for being part of the Zoom will apply to my group as well. So you've got my phone number and email address in the chat for anybody who might be interested in learning a little bit more about that group cruise that I will be hosting. Please contact me. So
sounds fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shelley. So guys, you should check out definitely At the end here, I'll show her phone number and email to go on that cruise with her. Also, if anyone's looking to go on the Star Seeker, when does that come out again, Melissa?
The Star Seeker is open for sale now. We'll take possession of the ship in December of 2025. The ship will be over in Spain and then heading over to Miami for her christening cruise, which will be heading from Miami to the BVI's in January of 2026. She'll do a few Caribbean sailings and then head over to Alaska. So spring and summer and early fall of 2026. But that's open for sale now. You want to book that early because it is selling out really well.
Do you know anybody they can book that with?
Cruising with Ted, of course.
Oh gosh. Yeah, you want to book with that guy. I heard he's pretty good. All right.
Cruising with Ted and Associates, because they're all awesome at Cruising with Ted.
Hey, and really, is that the ship behind me? What it's supposed to look like?
That is I believe that would be a rendering of the Star Seeker.
The rendering, yeah.
The ship
it looks pretty cool.
Still being constructed. Yeah, if anyone wants to go on the inaugural cruise, that would be, I believe, December of 2025. The christening in January, that still has space available. There's going to be all kinds of fun, things going on those specialty cruises. But all of our cruises are fun, and they're just really, fun and laid back and friendly, and you'll really get to see the world up close and personal, and it'll be a great time.
All right, so and look at all those people having fun on that one ship there. So
yeah, if you put your thumbs together like the lady in the picture, that's the Windstar W. So you'll see crew members like to say good morning, and they'll flash you the W. So that's what that.
Yeah, make sure you practice that first if you're going on a cruise. All right, so thanks so much, Melissa. And so, what is Cruising with Ted? We've been doing this since the turn of the century. How about that? 24 years. We have very, very talented and knowledgeable people like Shelly who spoke. So, we're definitely here to help you. I just want to mention a few things. We have a website called Cruising with Ted. And that's actually the Facebook page, is Cruising with Ted. And we actually have over 31 Facebook groups now. It says 23. And then we have a Facebook group for Windstar Cruises. I think we changed to Windstar Cruises fans, but that's us. We have a YouTube channel. Guess what it's called? Cruising with Ted. Good guess. We offer special offers, so you can scan that or go on the website, and you'll get emails with. We have run of ship offers, which means like if the cruise line needs to. Empty out, get everybody booked on a sailing last minute or even further out, they give it to us because we're so large and we can help fill up the ship. So make sure you scan that or go on our website. This is another service we offer. Check My Cruise Perks. You can actually add missing perks to your existing reservation. You wouldn't know unless you call us. Again, we have special run of ship offers, cabin credits, and you may not always get something extra, but we can also tell you how to, on your next booking, how to get even better deals. So scan that or just go to www.checkmycruisesperks.com. I wanted to show you a little video.
The Windstar legend recently visited Windstar Cruises' new headquarters, hometown of Miami, and showed off 2 themed suites and a new mural. Cruising with Ted was one of a handful of VIP guests invited to tour the ship.
This is Cruising with Ted. We're on board the Star Legend, which has recently undergone a $250 million renovation. We have new suites to show you today and lots of interesting features. So let's go check out this wonderful ship.
Subscribe to Cruising with Ted on Facebook and YouTube.
You may or may not know, we just went through a $250 million renovation. So we're seeing between original and the new block, and you cannot tell.
Star Legend's 2 classic suites on Deck 5.
Oh, by the way, can you hear me? Melissa, everybody? Okay, well, I don't know if anybody told you the story, but I was on the ship when they split it in half. And I didn't know. I was laying down right in the middle, and I'm now living in North Carolina and Florida. Okay. It's
You are
amazing.
too funny.
Forward were transformed into the Broadmoor Suite and the Sea Island Suite. The Broadmoor, located in Colorado Springs, is known for its European elegance paired with Western charm. Sea Island, situated on the Georgia coast, exudes Southern charm.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Why did they choose this hotel chain? How does it fit into Windstar? Would you mind?
Sure, Ted. So as I may have I mentioned, Windstar is part of the Xanterra Travel Collection. That's our parent company, Xanterra, and they have a property in Colorado called the Broadmoor, which you may be familiar. That is a golfing resort, a historic property near not far from Pikes Peak, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful property. So we did redesign one of our suites in the very front of the yacht of all three of our all suite yachts. Star Pride, Star Breeze, Star Legend. We did redesign the suite to look like the suites at the Broadmoor. They actually flew the original interior decorator to the yacht yard where they had the ship in dry dock, and they actually literally like duplicated the decor. It's really a cool, pays tribute to the Broadmoor. They even hand painted the wallpaper to match. So, and in addition, there's another suite on deck 5 also. It's deck 5 forward on those three ships called the Sea Island Suite. So part of the Xanterra collection is also the Sea Island Resort in Georgia, on the coast of Georgia. And so similar concept. They flew the interior designer there to, to mimic the look and feel of a Sea Island suite. So it's kind of a specialty suite. We said you'd get an insider's look at Windstar, and that's definitely an insider's scoop because we don't really publish those on the brochures. I don't think they even make reference to them on the brochure, so you would know unless you worked with Cruising with Ted, because they know, because they were there, they saw the suites. So it's kind of that kind of hidden menu or hidden brochure that we don't have out there in the public, because it's kind of a neat thing, sort of a thrill for a lot of our past guests that they get to stay in a specialty suite.
Okay, and guys, this is super secret because you can't tell anybody else about this, right, Melissa? All right, now.
So this is one of our new deluxe suites here.
Okay.
And as you can see, this is ships. I'm Diana Rahm, by the way, with Windstar Cruises. But just to show you the suite, or what this is named after, right there, that's the beautiful Sea Island Resort. Isn't
Okay.
that gorgeous? So we designed these because this is actually what it's like if you go to Sea Island. So it's a sister company of ours, both the Broadmoor and the Sea Island, and we wanted to give that feeling that when you come on board Windstar, that you have the exact same comfort.
Liz Schneider, and I'm an interior designer.
So Melissa, this is the interior designer that designed this, right? Okay.
Cruise industry, and I worked with Windstar on these two concepts, which is the Broadmoor Resort based out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, and the Sea Island Resort in Sea Island, Georgia. So my job was to make sure that we were embracing each concept and bringing them to life on the ship, which meant speccing the appropriate materials and developing the design of both properties. So,
Great.
One of my do you want to see my favorite feature?
Yes.
This wallpaper was originally designed by Julie Penrose of the Broadmoor, and her initials and her husband's initials, Spencer Penrose, are in this wallpaper. So we were given the approval to replicate it and install it here.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Show us around a little bit here. What you did here.
One of my favorite features is probably this custom wall covering that we developed. It's an inspiration from Sea Island. You won't necessarily find it on a wall there, but something we thought embraced the overall aesthetic of the property.
On deck 6 at
Anything else you want to say about that, Melissa?
Well, they are in the very front of the yacht. They do have a beautiful view overlooking the bow of the ship. There's a hot tub out there that very few people, if you don't have an insider scoop, you wouldn't know that there's a hot tub out there, and very few people know about it. So that's kind of one of my favorite places to go and relax and unwind. And if you have one of these suites at the very front, there's easy access to get there to my favorite area of the ship.
And to book those, you probably have to book early.
Well, yes, because our longtime past guests are aware of the Sea Island and Broadmoor Suite. It's kind of bragging rights to say, "Hey, I've stayed in a specialty suite on Windstar." So yes, book early, absolutely, because there's
And do
only
you know
two
anybody
on the
that could
three all
possibly
suite
book
yachts.
with?
Cruising with Ted,
Anybody?
of course.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't do that to you. Like, now we're talking about, hold on here. James Beard Foundation. What does that have to do with Windstar?
So James Beard Foundation is really like the highest honor for any chef or restaurant in the United States. It's kind of on par with a Michelin star in Europe. So to be recognized as the official cruise line partner of the James Beard Foundation is just a huge, huge honor. We're the only cruise line that's had that endorsement ever, and it's been for over 10 years. And it's basically when you're sailing on Windstar, the Culinary is on par with the top restaurants, the top chefs in the country. And so they hold us to the highest standards. We were already doing it already for many, many years. So it was a great fit. Everything being fresh, never pre-prepared, never frozen, sourcing local ingredients, really talking about zero food waste and sustainability and all those type of things are so important. So James Beard Foundation came to Windstar because so many top chefs were sailing with Windstar for vacation. And Shelly says she liked the bang bang cauliflower. Me too. It's a very spicy cauliflower, almost like a buffalo chicken wing, but it's with cauliflower. It's really good. Not too spicy,
Thank
but
you.
perfect.
Sounds
Thank you for
wonderful.
the sharing that, Shelly. But so not only the James Beard Foundation, but as I mentioned, the National Health Association. So we really do have a commitment to fresh ingredients, sustainability, zero food waste, and also healthy options as well.
Thank you.
Quadro 44 by Anthony Sasso, guests can expect a curated collection of Spanish staples, all with a modern twist. The main dining room, Amphora on the Windstar Legend, has what we consider the best food on the ship.
As you can see, the chairs are very spacious. On a mega ship, you often have to worry about, in fact, they have rules about how long you can hold your chair before they're going to gather your stuff and you have to go on. For us, we remember where you sat the day before and we have your stuff ready and waiting for you. Our staff knows what you like to drink and they're sitting there saying, "Oh, Ms. Ram, would you like your lemon drop again today?"
Alex Nunez traveled aboard.
Melissa, I'd like to talk more about need to unmute. I want to talk more about that they're so small, but they're very spacious, and how you don't have to save your chairs. You don't run into people all the time. When I was on Windstar, I found it very comfortable. And because it's not a giant ship, but not too small, it does have entertainment on board. It's the personal experience that you won't find on any other type of ship. Talk about that.
Absolutely. So these are large yachts. I guess you could say mega yachts. They're not tiny little boats. They're very spacious, but they don't hold a lot of passengers. So that really adds to that comfort level because you're not crowded. You don't have to wait for an elevator. In fact, the ships are, so easy to get around. Most folks don't even use the elevator. It's so easy to get everywhere you want to go. It's spacious. It's just a nice feel. And because we have almost a 1-to-1 guest to crew ratio, it's a huge game changer for your cruise vacation experience because you get to know the crew, they get to know you. You really feel a camaraderie and a closeness, and it's genuine. It's not scripted. The crew have time to pay attention to what's important to you. And they have time to, if you want to sit down and show them your pictures on your phone because you did a really cool shore excursion, you're excited to share it with them. Absolutely. They'd love to hear about that. This is not just a summer job for them. This is actually their life. They live on board. Many of our crew members are with us for decades. And so they're welcoming you into basically their home and sharing this wonderful experience with you. They're there to cater to your needs, but they're also, encouraged to get to know you. If they've got some time off and they want to, snorkel off the back of the yacht, absolutely. We encourage the crew members to, get out there and have some fun with the guests.
What about
So
rock climbing walls or race cars?
So that could possibly be booked as a shore excursion, but that
No,
would be off the
I'm just
ship.
kidding. I'm sorry.
So you could do hiking and biking, and I'll go off the beaten path as part of our optional shore excursions. We do have our Beyond Ordinary collection, which could actually incorporate um, testing out a high performance sports car on a track in Europe somewhere.
No,
So
it's
we have
okay.
stuff like that.
I was just trying to be funny, but I guess it was a bad joke.
It was a great correlation. No, we
Hey,
don't have room for rock climbing,
no,
but we do have our water sports off the back of the ship in select places. So you can go diving, or not diving, excuse me, snorkeling off the back of the ship, all kinds of non-motorized water sports, paddle
uh-huh,
boarding,
exactly.
kayaking.
With
Fun, fun,
with
fun.
cruising with Ted. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. Were you saying something, Melissa? Or?
No, go ahead.
Okay, we're a destination focused travel agency. Okay. We don't do the ship focused cruises, like the big cruise lines and all that stuff. That's not us. We just specialize in small ship river cruises. And I'll tell you why this one is the best, and this why I have groups that I book. So, dozens and dozens of groups always come back. The whole family comes, although they're not young, but it's multi-generational, small ships, and they get close to the place you want to go to. A lot of the bigger ships now are getting banned out of Alaska, Venice, and so forth because it's just too much, right, Melissa? This ship can get into slips that no one else can get into.
Yes, yes. Speaking of Venice, there's very, very, very few vessels, passenger vessels, other than private boats, but cruise ship style vessels are, for the most part, not permitted in Venice Harbor any longer. However, Windstar has special permission. So not only do we sail into Venice, but we have itineraries where we stay overnight in Venice, and that is a huge thrill.
Yeah, Melissa, I went to Alaska last year and this year. Last year, I went on a mass market cruise line just because of the timing and where we're sailing from. So we couldn't go to one of the ports, the one where they have the Yukon Railway. Me and my wife wanted to go on that. It was like the only reason we're going, and it got canceled. And it's not the cruise line's fault, but it's just too big to get in and out. If it was a smaller, then this year we went on a smaller ship, and then it's better because you can get closer to where to go. We didn't get banned. We did what we wanted. And
Well,
that is going to focus. That focus is going to continue on more and more ports that are only accepting small ships.
yeah, so we leave a gentler footprint. That's part of the Xanterra, way, a luxury hospitality with a gentler, softer footprint, meaning we don't take over the port, we don't take over the village or the destination. We really interact with the locals. It's small groups, small excursions, very, limited excursions. So, you're not part of a big, massive crowd taking over an area. So it's great, and it's easier to enjoy an excursion too when it's a smaller group of people.
Thank you. On Windstar, it's more about what you don't have than what you have. I mean, that's what I think. You don't have all the giant stuff that. Anyway, I love it.
Star Legend from Lisbon to Miami to create the new mural. All muralists were selected by Fountainhead Arts, a Miami-based organization dedicated to supporting artists.
And tell me, what was your name again, and how did you get into this type of artwork?
My name is Alex Nunez, and this is through a partnership with Fountain Arts. This is the foundress, Catherine Mikesell, and she curated this partnership with Windstar.
Thank you.
I have my collection.
Can you tell me a little bit more about Go Down the Mural? Tell me what's going on with this mural?
Sure. So anything that you see in this pale green is all phosphorescent. So the idea is that it's engaging throughout the day, and a lot of the actual iconography, the blue is inspired by the pool that you see right across from the deck, and then all the iconography is inspired by marine life. There's a lot of waves. So the idea is, as the boat is traveling, what animals and plant life exist.
Starlet.
So next time you go on the ship, listen to what she says, and you could be an insider. You can tell them all about the painting and why it's there. Okay.
And look for the hidden logos, because on all three
Hidden
of the
logos.
all sweet ship, the Star Legend, Star Pride, Star
Hidden
Breeze,
logo.
on their murals, somewhere there's a hidden logo. So I always
Oh.
like to try to find the hidden Windstar logo.
Okay.
Legend now has a completely reimagined and enlarged $3 million spa and fitness center to invigorate active guests with world spa destination themed therapies.
Do all kinds of different massages today?
Yeah, I do a lot of different kinds of massage. I do hot stone, bamboo massage, Swedish massage, seaweed rock massage, body scrub massage. This can help you to ease those muscles, your muscle tension, your pain, muscle aches.
Thank you.
I'm ready for that right now.
Our treatment room number 2, which is a facial room. We are doing some facial here, a biotech facial, and also the massage. Esther is the one who's doing that. So we do our biotech facial. This is an advanced technology facial, which is very, very good for the skin.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Cruisin' with Ted. And for your next grand adventure, contact cruisinwithted.com at 954-290-8626. Ted thanks you for watching and asks you to subscribe to Cruisin' with Ted on Facebook and YouTube.